Very good morning, students. Standard 7 students, today will start your fourth chapter of geography, that is air pressure. Within that, temperate zones and pressure belts and planetary winds, these two diagrams first we are going to be studied. See student here 90-degree north pole, 90-degree south pole. Then here it is frigid zone, 66-degree 30-minute south. Here it is 66-degree 30-minute north, 23-degree 30-minute south, 23-30-degree north, and 0-degree, that is equator, which is passes from the middle, otherwise center, which shows the torrid zone. That means this zone, wherever the temperature is not going to be changed. Understood? So this zone is known as a torrid zone. Temperate zones and pressure belts are interrelated to each other, but the latitudinal extent of the temperate zones is much larger, while pressure belts are narrower. In that figure also we can see the temperate zone extended from 23-degree 30-minute to 66-degree 30-minute. Compared to this, the air pressure belt has limited extent. It is generally up to 10-degree parallel. The uneven distribution of temperature influences the distribution of air pressure too. This leads to the formation of low and high pressure belts horizontally between the equator and the poles. Poles, that is south pole and north pole. Now here also we will see the polar winds, southern side and northern side, both the sides subpolar low pressure belt, at the same time equatorial low pressure belt and mid latitudinal high pressure belt. That means both the side low pressure belts and middle only high pressure belt. When it shows, what it shows, that means high pressure belts, it's going to be push both the side of this winds, and it will gives rise to the planetary winds. Again it will distribute into the temperature zones, which can be shown here, 65 degree, 55 degree, 35 degree. That means whenever the low pressure belt to high pressure belt, the temperature is going to be decreased. At the same time, from the low pressure belt, if we will go to the polar winds, you will see that temperature is going to be increased. Understood? Now the next term, pressure belts on the earth's surface. The heat received from the sun is uneven in the different regions, hence the distribution of the temperature is uneven from the equator to the poles. As a result, the temperature zones are created. We have studied this in the previous classes also. Now next, equatorial low pressure belt. The sun rays can be perpendicular between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. So the temperature is higher in this region. Hence, air in this region gets heated, expands, become lighter and moves towards the sky. As this process operates continuously, a low pressure belt gets formed in the central part of this region between the parallels of 5-degree north and 5-degree south. Then mid-latitudinal high pressure belt. The heated air becomes lighter, starts ascending after the reaching higher altitudes, moves towards the polar region, that is towards the north and south pole. Due to low pressures, otherwise low temperatures at the higher altitudes, the air cools down and becomes heavier. This heavier air descends down in both the hemispheres in the region between 25 degree to 35 degree parallels. This leads to the formation of high pressure belt in these parallels of latitudes in both the hemispheres. This air is dry, hence the region does not get rainfall. Consequently, most of the hot deserts on the earth are found in this region. Then subpolar low pressure belt. Due to the earth's curvature, the area between the two parallels gets reduced as we move towards the poles. This results in the lesser frictions of the air with the earth's surface. Air in this region is thrown out because of this reduced friction and also because of the earth's rotational motion. This leads to the development of low pressure belt. This condition is observed in the area between the 55 degree and 65 degree parallels in the both the hemisphere. Both the hemisphere, that means northern hemisphere also and southern hemisphere also. Next point, polar high pressure belt. In both the polar regions, the temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius throughout the year. Hence, air is cooled. As a result, high pressure belt gets formed. These are called polar high pressure belt. They generally occupy the area between 80 degree and 90 degree parallels in both the hemisphere. The duration and intensity of sun rays varies during particular periods of the year in both the hemisphere. That means temperature is going to be changed in both the hemispheres. Sometimes it is too cold, sometimes it is too hot. That means you will see the variation within the climatic conditions. As a result, the location of the temperature zones and the pressure belts dependent on the sun's heat also vary. That means sometimes they can get the slanting rays, sometimes it will get the perpendicular rays, sometimes directly straight sun rays. That means it depends, it varies, that means it's different. This change is of order to 5 degree to 7 degree towards the north to Uttarayan, and 5 degree to 7 degree south whenever it's reached to the northern hemisphere, 5 degree to 7 degree Celsius, that time we call it as a Uttarayan. At the same time, 5 degree to 7 degree, when it's reached towards the south, we call it as a Dakshinayan. This is called the oscillation of pressure belt. What we call? Oscillation of pressure belt. Then effects. What are the effects? Origin of winds, generation of storms, convection type of rain. Convection due to the climatic changes, due to the atmospheric changes. The rain can be occur sometime. Maybe in the afternoon time it's such a what we call totally hot like season. Whenever time is reached towards the 5:30, 4:30 and suddenly rain occur. This kind of conventional timing we call it as a sudden rain. Then isobar, the line that joins the places of equal pressure on the map is called isobar. With the help of isobar, we can get the information of both the hemisphere as well as the pressure belts also. But there are some natures of the isobars, the direction of the isobars and the distance between the successive isobars over ocean and continents. This information also we can get with the help of isobars. Okay. Then for your information, all things and on the earth stay earthbound because of the earth's gravity. This includes air, which is in the gaseous form. How it is? If we will see the air it is in gas form. Due to the earth's gravity, air is pulled to the earth's surface. That is why air pressure is maximum at sea level. Note that air exerts pressure on everything and everyone, including us. It is believed that the weight of the air column on any one person's head amounts to 1000 kg. Air pressure is measured in the units of millibars. For this instrument we call barometer is used. The air pressure at the earth's surface is measured with this instrument.